So in last session, we talked about the different functions, little bit modules we can call it, right? And we have seen some of the examples which is related to nothing but what topic you were discussing? Forgetting?
Yeah.
Okay, so last time we were discussing about the modules and we have seen the zip functions, right?
Yeah.
A screen is shared. Yeah. So we have seen how we can make use of the zip file functions which is available into the Python itself, right? And we have
Yes.
seen a couple of the examples like how to extract the particular files, how to
Yeah.
see the content of that, and how we can zip it. Like that we have seen, right? Now
Yeah.
today we have the one of the good topic that is known as the iterables, iterators, and other decorators, generators, like that. So these all will come into the different data structures. Each and every language will have certain data structure with it, right? So it's
Yeah.
not exactly the data structure, but it is a part which is going to be used inside data structure. Okay. So if we talk for the list, if we talk for the set, there we can be able to make use of these iterables over there. Okay. So we'll start like what are the iterables and how we can make use of this one. Okay, so in Python we have the topics that is known as itertools and iterables. Okay, these are some of the points which we are going to discuss. If we finish this one, then next section maybe like we have the decorators. Okay, we have generators. As the name suggests, what the name you are getting, the meaning and the function is also same. Okay, like decorator, what we are going to do? So like decoration kind of the work, right? In generator, what we are going to do? So all the things that we are going to see into the subsequent classes. So for today, we will start with the iterable and iterable. So what actually this iterable is, right? We have seen and we have used this iterable concept also, but we don't know at that time that we are doing the iterable work. Okay, so further when we are discussing, we will come to know that what are the iterables you have used and when you have used, right? Hopefully you are fine now. We can start.
Yeah.
So in Python, as we talk, right, it is the object-oriented programming language, and everything related over here is related to the real-time world, right? So in Python, everything will be what? Everything will be object class concept. Okay. So what actually these iterables? So we have the multiple iterables. So that is the iterables. So what actually these iterables means to you? We will not make use of this sign because it is one of the functions available over here, or we can put double. Okay, this is to simply give the meaning, right?
Yeah.
That what the function it is, we will see that function itself is known as lambda functions. Maybe you have heard somewhere. So what actually this iterable? Iterable is nothing but oh, iterable is nothing but something it is, right? So
Yeah.
what is this? So it is one of the object in Python. Okay. So if I'm telling that it is a object in Python, so we have the multiple object available in Python. Then how we can define iterables, right?
Yeah.
So everything is an object, right? Class and object. Now, if it is an object, it should be differ with the other objects, right? So that is the definitions we are going to see for this one. So iterables is nothing but it is an object and that can return an iterator that re returns iterator. Now a little bit confusion will come into your mind while listening this iterable, iterator, ITR tools and other things, right?
Yeah.
So don't confuse. Iterables is an object. Okay. This is the object and it will always return the iterator. Then what is the meaning of iterator? So something which is going to return you the result frequently, right? So like
Yeah.
in list, if you have to check one particular value is present or not, right? And if you are getting the list of I, you will get the I equal to 0, then the first index value you will get I of 1, then you will get the second index value like that, right? Similar kind, in list, if I need to check, I am at a particular location, I am at the list of 5, okay, L of 5 location I am there, and I need to check whether some next value is available or not, right?
Yeah.
How we are going to check that one? So that checking next, okay, what it is doing, it is iterating from one location to another location. Got it?
Yeah.
So that is the iterator. Okay, that is iterator. And iterable is nothing, it is an object, and iterable, the highlighted one over here, iterable is an object which will return you the iterator. Okay. Now I think these two terms is clear to you. What actually this iterable, what actually this iterator. Iterable is something which is returning you the iterator. Iterator means how we are iterating, how we are traversing from the one location to the another things, kind of the concept, not actually the traversing, but it is like that one, right? So how we can see and what is the concept behind this one? How we can make use of this one, right? As I just now I talked that if we have the list, if we can be able to proceed further by iterating on that, right? So it is a one-line examples. We will make use of the ideally. So suppose we have one list that is known as number, okay, and that list will have some value like this. Okay, this is the value in the list. Got it? It's clear, fine, right?
Yeah.
So this is the list, and from this list, I need to iterate. Okay, and that iteration by default it will be in the forward direction only, right? From starting from the 0 index to the next, like that it will go till the end. Okay. So for this purpose, we have one method that is known as iter. Okay. Little bit sounds confusing to you. So in num list, we have some elements present, right? And in that list, we need to iterate. If I'm execute this one for first time, it will give me the, what it will give me? It will give me the 0 index, then 1, then 2, then 3, like till the end it is going to have, right?
Yeah.
So by this iter means I am telling that I need to iterate, I need to check, I need to traverse, I need to, iter is telling something that you need to start from a particular location and you need to move in the forward direction. If I'm executing first time, you will give me the first value, second time, second value, third time, third value. Like that, you have to iterate till the last of the list. Okay. So if I'm executing this iter.nums, some value will be come to this one, right? And first we need to store that one somewhere. So suppose whatever it is returning, the iter of nums, I will store into the n1. Okay. Clear?
Yeah.
Now, as I mentioned that we have the next. We have to check the next consecutive values, right? So for that purpose, we have the method that is known as the next itself. Okay. And next of what I need to check now? If I am highlighting over here, it is saying iterator, right? And where is my iterator? My iterator is now n1, right? N1 equal to ITR. ITR means iterator. Okay.
Oh.
So ITR is the functions in which if you are passing any type of the collections like list, set, map, whatever you are passing, okay, that will be now made as the return will be the iterator. Got it?
Yeah.
So iterable will always return you the iterator. Fine.
Yeah.
So the ITER is taken as the input. What it has taken the input? Nums. That is the one of the list, right? And
Yes.
now it will start iterating from the beginning of that list. Okay. So first time it is n, right? So in n1 the value is getting stored, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I need to check what is the value inside the N1, how we can be able to check? So for that purpose, we have the next method. Okay, we have the next method. As you can see, the method color itself is getting highlighted. The ITER also and next is also getting highlighted by some purple color, right? Because it is the inbuilt keywords into the Python. Okay, so if you execute this next, what it is going to give? N1. N1 inside the next. What value you got?
1.
Next time if I'm executing same, what value I should get?
You get 2.
Yeah. Next time
Yeah.
again.
4. 5.
So what it is doing? ITR is the functions which will take one collection object, right? So here it has
Yeah.
taken list, and based on that it will return you the iterator. Iterator is what? N1 now. Okay, the value which is returned is known as iterator, and ITER is the simply the iterable. So the definitions we have seen over here. Iterable is nothing but it is an object which is returning the iterator, and we have seen over here how it is returning the iterator. So N1 is now iterator. Okay, got it? So if you execute consecutive times, it is giving you the values which is present inside that iterator. Now we will not call that the list because that list is now modified, right? What will
Yeah.
happen if, because we have reached to the limit of this iterator, right? What will happen if I will execute one more time? There may be a question, right? Because we have not defined any limit for that, right? We have simply started from the beginning, next, 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 like that, right? So it is consecutively, it is executing. So now it has reached to the end of that iterator, right? Now again, if I will execute next of n1, what should be the output? What could be the result?
1.
1.
1 again, right?
It is not the circular form, right?
So then it might of iteration. Like,
It will give you the exception, man, because it is saying that you have to stop the iteration now. Because you have reached to the limit, right? There is no further element. So because of that, it is saying next of n1, you have to stop the iteration because there is no further elements available.
so will there be any function to get like number of iterations like that?
That you need to explore more and more. First, we will start. Okay. So we have started the basic, and we have seen how we can iterate it from the iterator by making use of next function and ITR to convert that list into the iterator. Till now, is it clear?
Yeah.
It's not having any difficult things to understand, right?
Yeah.
Iterable, you asked that you have to get the number of the element length, right?
Yeah.
So your question is valid and answer is yes. I will tell you the method. Method itself is the len method. Okay, len is the method, but this is the inbuilt method for the iteration. So it will be always prefix and suffix with the two underscores, right?
Yeah.
Hello. So this is
Yeah.
the method. Okay. You need to check where you can apply this one, either on the N1 or next where you want to apply. Just apply it and see how you can be able to get. Second thing, we have the some more method that is known as the get items method also. Okay, get item is the one of the method like the len method. These are the predefined methods which is available on these iterables. Sorry for that. Okay, let me show you this one, these two. It will be helpful to understand you. Okay, so we have n1, right? N1 as the iterated we are already available. Now, if you point dot, it should give you the available methods into that, right? So if you see class, then delete attribute, then directory, then dog, then equal format, generate, get attribute like this one. Init method that you already know, right? The constructors. Hash method,
Yeah.
you also know it is going to give you the hash code of that, right?
Yeah.
Next, it is having the next method, new method, reduce method. So like this, we have here the size of also method. Okay, we have the str string, but you need to check how we can make use of these methods. Okay, how we will execute this one, and what is the things you are getting. You got simply the 32. What is this 32 now? How we will come to know what is this 32? Just think.
Um,
And I'm typing over here. It is correct or not? You just execute and it will come to know what you are getting. List iterable object has no attribute len, right? Now you need to check where we can apply this len to get the list. These are the homework for you, okay? Because you didn't get some task in previous sessions, right? So you need to, how you will come to know this one? So simply if you take this as the first two lines, okay, n1 equal to itr and put into the editor, and in editor some method is there. If you highlighted on that one, it is giving you the description for that, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So like that, you need to check it out, how it is going to work. So this is the iterable, and iterable can be anything. Let me give you some more detailed things on this one. There may be chances some method is present in 3 Python, some method is present in 2 Python. So that also, if you Google it, you will come to know that if you have any kind of the difficulty, right? First you need to explore, then only you will come to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the different other iterables present into the Python? So we have the lot of the iterables which is available into the Python. Okay, so some of the iterables to check whether a particular collection is a class or subclass of a particular collection or not, right? So that things we are also available, and that method name is known as each subclass. Okay, and here you need to pass the two arguments. First one will be the child, second one will be the parent, right? You need to check whether it is available or not.
Okay.
So like list, you are having one of the collection, right? You are
Yeah.
having one list as a set. Not result. Set is also one of the collection, right? So you got list, you got set, two collection, you got the dictionary, third one. You need to check whether this list, whether this set, whether the dictionary belongs to a particular class that is known as the collections. Okay, and these collections is we talk from now whatever we have started, that will be the part of the data structure concepts. Okay, so collections. So this is the collections. Collections means what? List, set, dictionary, right? So
Yeah.
all will belongs to this collection class itself. Got it?
Yeah.
You have heard about the concept of the queue and other data structure also, right?
Yeah.
So that is the another point. First, you need to just check it out whether these you need to check for this length method, size of method, get items. So in get items, what it will do, you need to give the index. Okay, what index you want the element. If you pass the 0, you will get the first element. If you pass 3, you will get the fourth element, right? Or third element.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that, you have to make use of this index to get the items from the particular iterables. Then we have seen these iterables. What is this now iter tools? We will discuss these collections. So what is this now? Iter tools. Sorry?
No, it's just thinking, what is it?
Yeah. So iter tool is nothing but it is one of the module. Okay, it is one of the module which is present in Python. And what this module will do, because some sys module and that other modules also we have seen, right? That
Yeah.
all modules we are having some of the particular standard libraries. By making use of that, you are doing some work, right? So similar kind of this, a tool will also have some of the standard library. Means that is some functions, predefined functions will be always there. That you have to make use of this one, right?
Yeah.
So this iter tool is one of the module and which will provide you the some of the library. Library is nothing but inbuilt functions it will provide you, okay, for your programming work. So in this iter tool, we have some of the particular methods. Okay, we have methods that is known as count. Okay, it will count the number of the what?
Count number. Address.
It is not the normal count. Okay, what it will do and how it is going to work. So this count is, let me type it also. It is a function, okay, and where it is present? Function inside iter tool, right? Where it is present? You are not responding. Because we are discussing on this iter tool, right? So iter tool is one of the modules which is have some of the functions available to this one, right? So what is the function? So first function is the count, okay, and how it is going to work? So the basic syntax for this one, it will take you one input, and that input will be nothing but one of the argument. Okay, count will take one argument. It will not be the blank. It will take one argument. It will take that argument, and what it will be the type of that argument? It is basically it is related to something related to counting only, right? So it will be the resultant will be the integer type, correct?
Yeah.
So here you need to pass some of the integer value as the argument. Now what it will do? If you are passing some of the integer value to this one, what it will do? And how it will work? So let me show you some of the smaller code. And first of all, if it is where it is going, So this count is present where it is present. It is present inside the iter tools, right? So
Yeah.
if we have to make use of this count, what you have to do? You have to import it, right? You need to
Yeah.
import. You need to import it, and what you will import? You will import the count. Now again the question will come where this count is, from where you are importing, that you need to specify, right? So
Yeah.
you need to specify the name of the modules where it is available. So it is available in ITER tools, right?
Okay.
From ITER tools, what you did, you imported the count. Okay. No issue because the count is already present into the ITER tool, and for ITER tool you don't have to install anything because it is a predefined module inside the Python itself. Correct?
Yeah.
So how we can demonstrate the working of this count? So for that, it will start counting something. We'll take one for loop I in. Okay, we will make you see the syntax now. It is what it is asking now in the description. What it is saying, you have to give the start, okay, and a step. That is not the mandatory. A step is not mandatory. By default, it will step by one, right?
Yeah.
So it will ask you a start from where you want to start, that you need to specify. So something like that you need to specify over here. So suppose like I will start it from the 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in the middle, right? We don't want to go to from the zero only. Always the counting will start from zero, but why should we always start with the zero? We will start with the 5. Okay,
Okay.
correct?
Yeah.
So how? Because you started the counting count of 5, count inside that you pass the integer argument as a 5. It simply means, it is not meaning that you have to count 5 values, right? What it
Yeah.
means, it means that you have to start counting from 5. Okay, you need to start count from 5 onwards. Clear?
Yeah.
Count 5 means count will start from 5. Count 4, it means counting will be starting from 4. Got it?
Yeah.
So if it is starting from 5, you need to give some of the like upper range also, right? Up to what it will go, right? Because if it is starting from 5, it will go to infinite, but you need to stop somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So suppose I need to stop this at the 10 or 15. Okay. So how we were passing the conditions? We were passing the conditions like this one only, right?
Yeah.
If
I,
I value is greater than 15, suppose 15. Okay. If it is greater than 15, what it will do? It will break. Breaking means it will not go further, right?
yeah.
But
So
if, yeah, so if it is less than 15, right? Now the concept will come, because first line only we have kept the condition, if I is greater than 15, it will break. Breaking means it will come out of this for loop. Okay. Now, suppose if I is less than 15, then there will be some execution will be there, some work will be there, right?
yeah.
So what work? We don't want to do any work. We will simply print I. Okay. We will print the value. That's all. We don't want to do anything. Correct?
Yeah.
So if we execute this, what will be the output? Count will be started from the value 5. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Up to 15 it should go, right? Because it is saying that after 15 it will break, right?
Yeah. Up to 15. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if once the I value is greater than 15, then it will break it. Okay. Now you have one scenario over here. In this count, you have passed some of the starting value, right? What you can do, and in your practice, the code will be same, this line, but in the count, you don't put any argument. You don't give any argument. Okay. Then counting will be starting from the 1, right?
So will it automatically defines it as 1 or?
No. So if you are not giving the count starting point, right? By default, it will be 1. And if you are not giving the steps, means it will be the steps will be by default 1 only. It will, the value is going to be increased by 1 only, right? Your task, just listen over here because I'm not typing. Okay. What is your task? This first execute these lines. Okay. Second time, what you can do? You can, because you have seen the count in that start value was there and steps was there, right? Hello?
Yeah.
So steps was there. So after 5, okay, after 5, comma, give one step. By default, it is 1. Just try to give the 2 or 3. Okay. Remaining lines will be same. Got it? So what it will do means the value will be 5, 6, 7 will be not there. If you are giving 2, then the value will be 5, 7, 9, 11. Means the count value will be printed by skipping 1, 1 because you are stepping the value, not 1 by 1. You are stepping the value 2. Correct?
Yeah.
So this is the task you have to do. 1. Second time, in this for loop, for I in count and 5 is there. So remove this 5 also. Simply count. Don't give any argument. You want me to type or you are okay?
No, I got it.
Okay. So don't give any conditions. The counting from where it will start. So if you are not giving by default, it will be 1 or 0. That you need to check. Okay. Mostly it will be 1 only. And if you have not stepping, you don't also give these 2 lines, if I greater than 15 and break. Simply for I in count and directly print I. Okay, don't give any termination point like I greater than 15, then you need to break it and just check it out. What would be the result? How it is working?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the example you have to execute? You have to first execute these iterators, the previous example. Then second one, then you have to check the different functions, length, size of, and get items, other things. Okay. Then for these iter tools, you have to execute for this count, the normal code, whatever you are seeing at the screen. Second time in the count, don't give any starting value and don't give these 2 terminations lines also. If I is greater than 15 and break like that. Okay, so don't give that. After 4, directly print the value. Okay. Third one, in the count, whatever the value you have given, after that comma, and you need to give the steps. Okay, up to what steps it should follow. If you are not giving anything, by default steps will be 1, right? If you want to value will be 2 steps, so just specify that one also. Now, after count, we have one more method that is known as cycle. Okay. So as the name suggests, you can be able to have some of the idea like what it is cycle, like life cycle of something, right? So it will be performing some from the start to end, something like this is the life cycle of anything, right? So similar kind of the concept that is present also in the cycle of the ITER tools. So how it will work? So it is simply if you calling the cycle method, it will infinitely, it will start with from beginning to infinite. Okay, till the time you are not stopping it, it will work.
Okay.
Cycle means because you will not provide any kind of the termination. Directly from the beginning, it will start and it will be the infinite. Till the times you are not pressing any keyword from the your keyboard, it will continue to be running. Okay. So how it can be running? What could be the syntax? So first of all, if it is from the ITER tools, so you need to import it also. Okay, and what you will import? You will import cycle, not the bicycle, one cycle, right? So how it will come to know from where it should start, right? It should be able to justify something, right? You need
Yeah.
to give some conditions how it is going to start, and because something if it is there, you have the starting power, then you will have also the surety how you can stop it, right? So for stopping
Yeah.
also you can be able to give some conditions like the previous examples we have given, but we have to try with condition, without condition. Okay, how it is going to work. So suppose we will see one example like this one. So initially one variable you can take, any variable name you can take, okay, and that will be initialized with the 0. Nothing is there, right?
Yeah.
Then you just put one for loop inside this one, and inside this for what you will give, you will give some condition. So what could be the condition? So condition can be anything, but if you look at the previous example and we were talking for the count, so conditions in the for loop we have given some count only, right?
Yeah.
Here also if we are talking for the cycle, we will give one cycle to this. And what could be the syntax, means content inside this cycle, that we need to decide, right? Anything whatever you will pass over here, okay, that will be executed infinitely. Here in the case of count, input parameter was the starting of count, right?
Yeah.
And here in the cycle, it will be take one input. Input will be any collection it can take, because these ITER tools and iTravels are part of the collections, right? So it can take any type of the collection. So by default, you can give any list, you can give any set. Okay, so suppose inside this one only, directly creating list and that passing the list over here, you can directly give one list over here, right?
Yeah.
Is it possible or not?
We can.
So the value you can give like the Python. Python is the first value. Second one is the training. Okay, correct. So in the cycle, what you did in the cycle, you have given the one list as its argument. Correct.
Yeah.
So by default, the loop will start from I. Okay, and it first time if it is I, it will print the Python and training to at the console, right? But
Yeah.
up to what number of times it will go? Okay, there is a possibility that you can give any kind of the termination point like the previous example. I greater than 15, then it will break. Okay, hello. So
Yeah.
here also we will try to give some value. Okay, and on what condition you will give the value?
About the, let's say,
I'm not
cycle.
giving, I cannot give the condition on I, right? Because initially the I was 1, 2, 3, so I can give I is greater than 15 and then you can break it out, right?
Yeah.
So for that purpose only we have taken the variable C equal to 0. Any variable you can take. Okay, so you can put over here if C is greater than 10. Okay, if the value of C is greater than 10, correct, what you will do? You will
Break.
break this one. Now condition is if it is not 10, okay,
Print.
if it is not 10, what it will do? It will print something. What it will print now? Question to you, what it will print? It will print C, it will print I, or what it will print?
Print I.
Okay. And one more point over here, because we initialize C, right? We have given again the condition for the C also. We didn't provide till now the steps count, right? How
Yeah.
it is going to be incremented. That we need to tell. So we need to increment the value C equal to C plus 1 or C plus 2 like that, right?
Uh-huh.
The same thing we have the shortcut form. What we have the shortcut form? This is the shortcut, right? Compressed version. Both are same. C equal to C plus 1 and C plus equal to 1, right? Both are same. Is it?
Yeah.
So you can give any one. First one or the second one. I will today try with the second one. Okay. So these are the conditions you gave. Okay. Will come out of this program. What it did, you need to check it out. It printed the list content, Python, then training, then Python, then training, Python training, Python training, Python training, like that. It has printed. How many value it has printed?
11.
Why 11 it has printed? Because we started from C equal to 0 and given the greater than 10, right? Means up to 10. So 0 to 10 will be 11, right?
Yes.
Now what you can do? You can modify this same program without giving this stepping C plus equal to 1. Okay, you don't give this one. See what it will do. So the answer is it will behave like the infinite, right? Because not infinite, but by default it will take one value incremented by 1 only, right?
Yeah.
So what you have to do, you just remove the condition. If C greater than 10, then break and then see what it is going to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So like this count and cycle, we have some more method like the repeat. And the name suggests anybody can guess that it is going to work as a repeating kind of the things, right?
Yeah.
And coding wise also it is very much similar to this example only. I will not type. Okay, what I will do, I will simply tell you the remaining things. It will be same. Import, instead of importing cycle, what you will import?
Repeat.
Repeat you will import, and these lines will be same. Wherever you are seeing this cycle, you need to modify that. Okay, so first you need to import repeat, and here in the for loop condition I in cycle, instead of now you will not go into cycle, right? You need to go with something else. So you will go with repeat. Okay, hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what could be the input parameter for that repeat? So that you can try with, give one list itself. Okay, give
Yeah.
one list. Like how we have given in this example, you give one list over here and just see how the behavior of this repeat one. Because if you see over here in this current cycle one, Python and training, these are the two different elements, right? And we have
Yeah.
given the condition as the 10, so it has executed 11 times only, 0 to 10, right? And two values are treated as the list elements. There are two elements, so it has treated as the two different outputs. Suppose here in the cycle Python training, if you add some more keywords, so it all will be treated as the different elements, right? because first one is the Python, second one is the training, third one is the online, something like that. So if you are giving directly 100, not 100, means a condition in the 10. If you give over here a C greater than equal to 2, then it will print only Python training and Python, right? Because this is the number of the element. So similar kind of the things you need to check for the repeat, and then check one more time with in the repeat. You don't give these conditions. Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Is it clear, right?
Yeah.
So we have seen these Python's iter tool, iterables, right? We have more topics like the decoration and generator that we will see in the next session.
Okay.
And so they just try to execute this also. It will be helpful for you.